Welcome to Let's Talk English, the weirdest language channel in all of YouTube. Today we are going to address the topic of books. Irrespective of whether you are a bookworm, an average reader, or someone who just needs to make a comment on a book, this episode is tailor-made for you. Today I'm going to teach you some topic-related vocabulary. You will actually learn how you can talk about books. So, without further ado, let's challenge you with a small riddle. Who was the greatest performer, entertainer, a songwriter, a singer, and a dancer? In case you don't know, he used to bear the title of the King of Pop. That's right, I'm referring to Michael Jackson. I'm going to use his autobiography as a reference point to talk about books in general. The book in question originally came out in 1988. It is really remarkably well produced. It contains a series of photographs from his early childhood onward until the time of the Bad album. It chronicles the whole story of the Jackson 5 family. It contains a series of anecdotes, his private feelings, fears, and ideas that he would come up with when writing songs.
Moonwalk is non-fiction, so you'll not find a classic plot here, at least not in the literary sense of inventing a story. And what is a plot? Well, it is basically a made-up storyline that belongs to the field of fictional literature. So, the plot of Harry Potter tells an imagined story of a young boy studying wizardry at Hogwarts. By contrast, when one writes an autobiography, they relate to facts of their life. So is the case with MJ's Moonwalk. Prior to reading it, one could say music runs in the Jacksons family, meaning they genetically inherit a music talent. But as far as Michael is concerned, he really stole the show, meaning he stood out. I even reflected on his comprehensive talents and came to a conclusion which I'd like to share with you. I know many of you come from different walks of life, so you may be of an opposite view, and I don't mind it. It's just an educated guess of mine. I hold the view that MJ was one of very old spirit forms, or old souls if you like. And one of many distinguishing features of such individuals are their talents, wisdom, intelligence and good-heartedness. When taking such household names, meaning famous people, as MJ, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Martin Luther King or Mahatma Gandhi as examples, they all share similar characteristics and prove an assumption that reincarnation may be a natural phenomenon and should not be a religious concept. However, it cannot be proven scientifically as long as researchers do not come with tools to measure and puzzle out a soul. But I digress. As a child prodigy, meaning a child genius, Michael Jackson had every right to rise to fame and become a fulfilled artist. And maybe because he was deprived of his childhood, which by no means is excusable, was he able to develop his hidden depths, meaning talents, to full blossom and produce masterpieces in the realm of music. I may be a little biased, meaning non-objective, about him, not only because I grew on his music, but also because I agree with him that, to paraphrase the King of Pop, life is a constant dance of creation. And so he creatively danced his life like no one else recorded in history. His biography in Moonwalk constitutes a recollection of not only a singer, but also that of a man stripped of his privacy, secretive because he was protecting himself from vilifying gutter press, which hounded him every step of the way. He was also an idealist concerned about the direction our civilization has taken. He was not perfect. He had his fair share of pitfalls. But who didn't? His music and legend will live on though, and a great deal of good he shared with the world will never be forgotten. In terms of the language, I picked 3 interesting phrases from Moonwalk that you may find pretty useful. Number 1. To keep up with the Joneses, meaning to follow your richer neighbor. Then I have to take stock of something, which means to reconsider something reasonably, taking pros and cons of a given situation. And lastly, to set the record straight on something, which means that you tell the truth about something that was distorted or not made clear. Here are some examples how you could use these phrases in speaking. Number 1. Henry claims he doesn't care about the standard of living, but he always keeps up with the Joneses. 2. When taking stock of her job offer, I think I will have to turn it down. 3. Initial headlines labeled the MP the fraudster, so he had to set the record straight on the money he raised during election campaign.
If you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. New videos coming up very soon.